Alright, we're coming up live again at the Santa Ana Courthouse. The verdict has come in. Not guilty on all counts. Bullshit. Blind juries.
Supposedly the charges on Wolf are dropped right now.
They dropped the charges on Joseph Wolf. Now my hopes is that now the federals will come in and charge all six with violations of their civil rights.
That would be the hope.
Well, if they came in and did it on the Rodney King case, what's the difference? Except for, this is almost even worse because there was no anything.
There was no audio in the
yeah, exactly. So, if they're going to step in then they're going to step in now. I have to believe that, or else I don't even know what to think.
A lot of people around here still in shock. I don't think I've seen anybody here happy about the verdict. I've seen hundreds of people walk by and everybody's just in fucking shock. It's fucking disgusting.
Jack was under the table.
In his truck?
In the baggage. Everything's put away. I'm done. I don't have to deal with the baby.
I'll tell you one thing, that wasn't a fucking jury of my fucking peers.
No.
It was like a jury of my grandparents.
Didn't I tell you that? When I came out at noon? Or whatever I said, I was like two of them look cool and the rest of them look like people I wouldn't want on my frickin' jury at all.
The same way. If they do that for all the police brutality cases, I saw the same thing. Get this, the federal police brutality case I sat in, they dismissed 5 juror members and never even brought them back.
Well,
so he was tried by, instead of 12 peers, he was tried by 7.
Well, let me ask you this. In the Rodney King trial, after they were acquitted, the federals came in and charged them after the fact. Right? Isn't that right?
Right.
Rodney King, they got acquitted in criminal court. Then they came in, federals, and charged all 6 of them.
Well, that was after the city had burned and everything had already, all hell had broken loose. You know what I mean? It was kind of like...
That was a riot, yeah. The riot hit, right?
Yeah.
So
you're saying that that's the only reason they did that, and they ain't going to probably come in and do anything here.
If they just dropped the charges against Wolf, this is a done deal. It's a slam dunk for them, right?
For the criminal court.
Well, look, this is the same system.
There's still, if they brought charges against Rodney King, there's really not a difference. Except for we have better audio in this case. It still shows 6 cops killing somebody, so it should be the same thing, regardless of riot. They should do the same thing they did then, now, right?
Well,
charge them with civil rights and a human rights violation.
Absolutely, and I would see that, going forward. I'd like to see that going forward.
We probably need we had 5,000 people down here, maybe.
500.
500, yeah, you're right. 500.
Being in the courtroom
50.
and looking at Ramos.
182.
There's a magic number. There is a magic number.
There is.
Right?
Not many either.
It's a few hundred, and it's about a few hundred people consistently. It's about consistency. And that's what we had in 2011, Fullerton, was consistency, or they would have never even put on this bullshit trial. But the fact is, the people that maintain that consistency throughout the trial is why they let the motherfuckers go. So that's all they do. They look at the number and they say, look, we can get away with murder. Nobody's going to give a fuck.
A year ago, after the Anaheim riots,
Yeah, for sure they dropped the charges on Wolf. That's a for sure thing.
the idea of tone setting came up in the city of Anaheim. There was a lot of meetings, and there was a lot of people who were designated as tone setters when they were still worried about Anaheim jumping up. And they created this task force that trusted members of the community who were going to set the tone for unrest if things were to pop off. And I think that what happened with the Kelly Thomas trial was we saw that same tone-setting mentality, and maybe some of the people who were involved in the tone-setting didn't realize what kind of tone that they were setting, but they were setting the tone for these guys to be exonerated for murder.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that the only reason charges were ever brought is because the people had direct actions for them, and the reason that they got off is because that action waned and people stopped caring, and even at the end didn't come out?
But you know what the thing is? Here's the thing. People have not stopped caring.
Not stopped caring, but forgotten, or not protested with the veracity needed.
I'm gonna say this as diplomatically as I can.
Okay.
Okay.
That time.
Okay. We're involved with the movement right now today. We were at 2 protests, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, that's going strong. Okay, that stands in solidarity. Okay? Solidarity is the only hope. You and I met in Anaheim. You had a mask on, I didn't know who you were. By your actions in Anaheim that day, by the efforts that you took to keep the peace, to keep the protests going, to keep the people speaking, and to not have the cops crashing down on innocent heads, right? That's where we met, right? There is still that mentality. There is still that solidarity happening. So it's unfortunate that for whatever reason, Kelly Thomas was not permitted to be part of the solidarity. But see, we fight for gang members, we fight for the mentally ill, we fight for the homeless, we fight for the affluent, we fight for the rich, we fight for anybody who's victimized by police officers. And that's our only hope. So Kelly Thomas will get his justice. Kelly Thomas will get his justice when Martin Hernandez gets his justice, when Manuel Diaz gets his justice, when Michael Naida gets his justice, when Joey Acevedo gets his justice, when Jose de la Trinidad gets his justice, when Nacho gets his justice, when Rigoberto Arceo gets his justice. You know, that's when Kelly's going to get his justice, because that movement has not